Recently, O'Neal Cruz has been batting terribly. He actually took a rest day the other day, and he's been struggling a lot. Also, recently, the Penguins went down to the Flyers 3-0. Now, is there something to this? Is there something more than just, oh, the team's not playing good right now? Ah, see, right there, right now, that's the key. We are going to be looking into streaks and do they actually exist? Is there something behind it? Is there like a mental battle to it? And we're going to be going over mainly Pittsburgh athletes and Pittsburgh sports and how this relates. A lot of players, when you look at it, I'm going to start with Connor Griffin because he is on a momentum buildup right now. After hitting 2 home runs in the last 4 games, he is heating up. He's batting like a 2.36, and he is playing very good. He's consistently hitting now. Now, of course, he is only 20 years old. He was 19, but he is starting to play better. Now, that's not just because he's the number one overall prospect, it's because he is gaining his confidence. And there's something to gaining your confidence. I mean, let's look at Marcell Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna, not really in the same boat. He's been in the league for a while, but man, he can smack a ball. I've seen him do it. I've seen him hit a home run, and he's a really good player. He just can't. I mean, he can't dial in. That's the best way to say it. He can't stay consistent, and that is a really big key with everything. Honestly, we talk about consistency a lot on this podcast, and this is something we're seeing even now in players. Consistency breeds confidence, and confidence breeds, I mean, good gameplay from all sides, honestly. It's not just thinking when you're confident, you're reacting, you're playing well, I mean, you're playing smarter, you're playing, I mean, mistakes don't shake you as much. That momentum can build too. Connor Griffin's, I mean, again, he's heating up right now. He's playing really good. But when he got more confident, you could just see that was the first thing the reporters asked him when I was watching the interview. Will this change things? This first home run, will it change the way you approach the game now? And he's like, yeah, it's my first home run. I'm excited. I love this. I'm feeling confident now. There's something more to that. And he was hunting for that home run for a while. He was hitting deep balls to center field, to right field consistently. Now you kind of look at it and you're like, wow, now we could see some more production out of him finally. And we're doing that now. We hit another home run at home at PNC Park, and that fan, boy, he excited. But confidence does amazing things for you, and that consistency breeds confidence. When you start to look at it, when you're hot, you're not trying to be good. You're expected to be good. And when you're expected to be good, you feel maybe a level of pressure, but you also have that level of pressure for a reason because you're playing good. That's your expectation now, and there's something to it. Let's take a look into Ozuna a bit, and not that not that he's a bad player, but we as Pirates fans are trying to give him his opportunity. And I've seen a lot of podcasts, a lot of people kind of talk about, especially Bucko Banner, shout out to them. I love that podcast, about how they think Ozuna is a sleeping giant. Even the players think Ozuna is a sleeping giant. But the more and more that we see him go in this hole when he's pinch hitting now, he's struggling for the pinch hit even. The more and more we see him go in this hole, the more and more I feel it's going to be harder for him to pull out of it. Honestly, that confidence, once it's dropping and it starts to build on you, that pressure that you have to do good. This is your expectation. One bad at bat, I mean, you've seen this, it's kind of snowballing. He's struggling now. Ozuna struggling. I mean, the pressure is starting to build from the fans, from the media. Oh, when is he going to turn the switch? When is he going to do good? That is something that we don't even know is going to happen right now. I mean, he's just all over the place struggling right now. And I hope to see him do good. I really do. As a Pirates fan, I would like to be the DH that we hope for him to be. But is he really going to hit that now? Or is he just not meant for Pittsburgh? Now, this brings me to that trade where we let go of, not trade, but where we let go of Andrew McCutchen. And Andrew McCutchen he was batting 400 at the beginning of the year. He made it on the open day roster from a minor league deal from the Rangers. And now he's struggling again. He's the same place as Osuna. He is back to just pinch hitting. I mean, he is struggling. Now, I don't know what the answers to these is, but I just know their confidence, once it goes in the drain like this, it's really hard to get it back. But once it comes back, it'll be really good. You'll see that streak start to streak up again. One of my personal favorite players, Nick Gonzalez. Now, I'll say one thing about Nick Gonzalez, and it's that he is a warrior. His at bats are the most fun to watch because he swings, he hits, he foul tips. I mean, he is just a really great. I don't want to say he has home run power, but he's more of a slap hitter. He really is. But on that point, he has been consistent. He bats like a 323 right now, and his OPS is like 800 or something, 760. But he's playing out of his mind right now. Not even out of his mind. This is what is expected from Nick Gonzalez, at least from me as a player watching him the last couple of years. This is what expected of him, and he's honestly made a case to be the starting third baseman now, and he's amazing for it. But this kind of consistency is what keeps players in the game, honestly, and that's why it's going to be so hard for Triolo, who is, I mean, he played really good at the end of the season last year. He was batting like 260. Whatever, I don't know if that was really good. He struggled, started off batting last season with a 167, and now he's kind of, he didn't start off bad. I don't know. He got injured with a patella tendon injury, I think, and he's trying to come back up from uh, Bradington, and he went 0 for 3 the other day. And he's struggling. I mean, I know injuries. Believe me, I'm one to know that injuries can affect anyone, and it can destroy confidence. It can destroy a lot of things. But we're seeing that consistency from Nick Gonzalez and the continued buildup of him as a player is really changing the way that we see him and what is expected of him. And again, Triolo struggling, Osuna struggling. These guys have been cold for a while, and that's something we want to see change. Honestly, we want to see them be better. We want to see them play good. But that kind of just confidence, once it's in the hole, it's hard to bring it back. I believe me, I from experience, I know once the confidence goes down the drain, it is generally really hard to get it back. Now, I myself, I'm a fairly confident person. I'm fairly confident in everything I do. I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I wasn't confident in a lot of things, but I'm not. And not everyone's like me. It's hard for some people to have confidence and go out there and talk to people and just build that level of, I don't know, that's just that level of confidence to get a snowball going. And I think it's the biggest thing in sports that we're seeing was confidence relates directly to consistency, and consistency and confidence have a direct correlation, especially in sports and in everything, honestly, but especially in sports, because the talent of Osuna and Triolo and these guys hasn't changed. The skill hasn't disappeared, but the mind shift definitely has shifted in their head, and it's more of a mental battle for them now, and they're struggling. The difference between hot and cold isn't just ability, because we know that Triolo, he's a competent player. Osuna is a RBI machine, or at least he was for the Brewers, but it's the belief inside of them that's really, really making them struggle right now. Now, if we kind of look at another angle, the Penguins, they're playing from behind in a playoff spot. The Philadelphia Flyers went up 3-0 on them to start. Pressure, I mean, the Penguins had so much pressure on them for them to play good. They were expected to do good. They are a really good team. But that momentum swing of losing, okay, 1 game in a row, 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row, it's really hard to get that confidence level back, especially individual confidence. And teams feel pressure the same way players do. And it shows up maybe a little bit differently. Maybe it's like a trickle down effect, but you definitely see a difference. The mental battle with all of this is what's the hardest part. Um, Confidence versus doubt is probably some of the biggest mental battles people face. And I think that's why it's really important. You see a lot of mental health awareness for a lot of sports teams. My fraternity is mental health awareness. I mean, it's one of the biggest things you see. It's not just the confidence side of it or this side of it that I'm talking about in the sports. It has a bigger meaning and bigger effect on a lot of people. And that is something why it needs to be brought up so much. This kind of like doubt in people's minds really, really messes with people. And it's messed with me before. Everyone's had doubt, but we kind of see that like internal voice when it talks to you, the struggles people face, including especially athletes, which we're seeing with players like Osuna and Triolo. And dare I say it right now, Igor Chinikov for the Penguins was really struggling in the playoffs. That's also a different animal. The playoffs is a completely different animal. It's a completely different thing, but it is still relevant there. That snowball effect from struggling really shows. And some athletes can recover from it. Actually, almost all athletes should recover from this. And whether it just be from pure skill, training, talking, I mean, they have all the resources in the world available to them. But there's a lot of different sides to building that confidence and building that help back up. I would really like to see that a lot of these players, I mean, turn it back on. Triolo Osuna in particular, just to give Nick Gonzalez and I mean DH right now is probably Brian Reynolds, Ryan O'Hearn, whoever the DH may be, some competition to make our whole team better. And as I speak right now, the Pirates are also on a 3-game losing streak to the Cardinals, which seems ridiculous. But JJ Weatherholt, former Mars player where I'm from, is playing really good right now, and you're seeing his streak confidence built up and it's built up over time. And now he's playing really good, really amazingly. And that is something that's really good for him. But you see the relationship to being confident, being consistent, to playing the game well. We're seeing that more and more. That internal voice, I don't know if you guys have probably all heard that internal voice that says like you're not good enough, whatever. You got to really push past that. That's the hardest thing. Mental battles are definitely the biggest struggle everyone faces. I mean, everyone's had mental battles. I've had mental battles. It's not something that's probably talked about enough, but especially as athletes, young athletes, they really struggle with the pressure of teams. I mean, the pressure of players. I remember when I was in high school on the soccer team, they gave me a nickname. They called me Thick Skin, and that nickname literally meant they thought I literally like my skin was literally thick. I know it sounds so stupid, but that's what it was. I mean that's what we did as kids. And just the mental battle. I don't know. I was a freshman at the time, and I mean, again, I tried to brush it off like everything else. I tried to play it cool, but I still do believe for a lot of people it can be hard. Even for me, it was hard at different points. Um, Everyone struggled with their own mental battles, and that difference between struggling mentally and struggling mentally and letting it affect you are two different things, especially in sports. If you're struggling mentally in sports, who was it? I read a story about a soccer goalkeeper who, oh, was it Neuer? I don't remember, but it was a soccer goalkeeper who would literally, after training and after games, he would go back to his apartment, and because he was so lonely, he would just take sleeping pills and he would sleep. And that was his whole life. He would sleep and play soccer, and he really battled with that addiction to sleeping pills. And that is just a mental battle that you don't always see, but you really want to help people with. I mean, mental battles are not always the most present thing that people try and talk about, and it's not always the easiest thing to talk about, but especially in athletes and in places with people with pressure, those mental battles really show up. And that's why you got to show up to support those people who are fighting those mental battles, and especially those who are brave enough to talk about it. That's definitely the hardest thing with mental battles and getting out of these slumps is just talking to people about it and having support around you. Um, Back to kind of the athlete side of it, two athletes can have the same skill but completely different outcomes based on what's going on in their head. And the brain is a crazy thing to where it can really change everything about your life. If you want to be sad and you want to feel sad, and that's something that's going on in your head right now, there's nothing you can do because that's just how you feel. It's really hard to change stuff like that. But mental battles can be one, and there are resources out there to help you. We've talked about this with my fraternity and other things, but always searching for mental battles, especially in sports, is just something that always amazes me how much attention it brings and how little help I feel like they get outside of the organization, maybe, and outside of a part of the fan base. Um, I mean, let's be honest, sports don't always just test your ability on the field. I mean, they test your mindset, what's exposed to you. And the hardest part is you can't always see that battle. But it decides everything about you and everything how you play. There's a lot more to the mental side of it than anyone ever really realizes, and I think it needs a light shine on it through this podcast, which I'm doing right now. Um, but for now, guys, I really enjoy talking to you about this mental battle thing. I mean, it's definitely an important thing to me and my fraternity and a lot of people out there. So, I mean, if you ever want to talk, let me know. I mean, I'd love to talk to you. I mean, if you want to come on the podcast and talk, that would be awesome too, guys. I'm just here to have fun. I'm here to talk to y'all, my listeners, and I appreciate every one of you for listening. And yeah, but for now, guys, I'm Kai. This is the KaiCast. Make sure to follow us on all our socials, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.